Hi there, yep, Nick Dutch here yet again, and accompanied by the cat once more. And now I'm going to do a short series talking about positivism. Yes, again, referring to Wikipedia just because it's convenient. I mean, I've got a whole stack of social science textbooks upstairs where I couldn't be asked right now to leaf through them all. So we're relying upon Wikipedia as a source of inspiration and, I would say, shortened knowledge. Okay, positivism is a philosophy which holds that the only authentic knowledge is that which is based upon actual sense experience. Alright, so we can start from the top and see that positivism is a philosophy, okay? And it's a philosophy which is used a lot in science. But it is a philosophy which would suggest that it's a rather possibly or potentially limited tradition, as you saw in the videos I've just done relating to anti-positivism. Metaphysical speculation is avoided. Alright, woo! Alright, so this is another reason why there's a prejudice against supernatural exploration in the natural science world, because that tradition of positivism, which holds true very easily for the natural sciences, is only one aspect of the total natural world, and they will hold true to a avoidance of what we deal with as occultists. Though the positivist approach has been a recurrent theme in the history of Western thought from the ancient Greeks to the present day, and appears in Ibn al-Haytham's, that guy I mentioned earlier on, the 11th century text, Book of Optics. The concept was first coined by Auguste Comte, widely considered the first modern-day sociologist. Well, it's arguably Comte first, but some people would say that Durkheim would be the first sociologist. In the middle of the 19th century. The early 20th century logical positivism, a stricter, more formal version of Comte's basic thesis, sprang up in Vienna and grew to become one of the dominant movements in American and British philosophy. The positivist view is sometimes referred to as scientific ideology. Alright, so again we got another problem, because this has been turned into an ideology, which is another reason why certain scientists might actually disagree with the metaphysical speculation that was mentioned earlier on in the article. And is often shared by technocrats who believe in the necessity of progress through scientific progress, which would of course be progress in the physical sciences rather than anything else, which is something which really irritates me, and by naturalists who argue that any method for gaining knowledge should be limited to natural, physical and material approaches. But again, as I pointed out, this is a philosophy, it's an important philosophy, but it is only a philosophy. In psychology, a positivistic approach is favored by behaviorism. Even in psychology, there are various moves against the anti-positivistic methodology that we would need to use if we were to be occultists and try and think in a scientific manner. As an approach to the philosophy of science deriving from the Enlightenment thinkers like Pierre Simon Laplace and many others, positivism was first systematically theorized by Comte, who saw the scientific method as replacing metaphysics in the history of thought. So there's a movement which is trying to go completely against anything of a religious, spiritual or supernatural nature. And obviously that trend, that tradition is still present within the body of people we call scientists, and in the bodies of texts which make up the body of knowledge, which is also labeled as science. And who observed circular dependence of theory and observation of science. Comte was thus one of the leading thinkers in social evolutionism school of thought. Comte was highly influential in some countries. Brazilian thinkers turned his ideas and training a scientific elite in order to flourish in the industrialization process. Just a moment. Come here. Get this cat. Where was I now? Okay. Okay, I'll stop the video now. We'll do another section as we're moving on to the next part of the paragraph. Bear with me a second.